Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is IntuitiveEdge. Thank you for joining me. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. I wanted to explore a question regarding gain-of-function research. Now that term has been bantered about the news in recent weeks, as many have come to understand with the release of Dr. Fauci's emails, and that has kind of become a hot topic, front and center. But what is gain-of-function research? Well, basically my understanding is that it is research done on microorganisms to make them more transmissible, more potent, more virulent, however you want to say that word. So that's in a nutshell what gain-of-function is. And some are saying that gain-of-function research shouldn't be allowed. We shouldn't be trying to make viruses more apt to kill people or more deadly, that we should be seeking to understand how viruses work, but not manipulating them into something else that could potentially get leaked out of a lab and hurt a lot of people. So there's some, I guess you could say, that's still a hot topic of discussion that people are having around gain of function. Should it be allowed? Shouldn't it be allowed? But the bigger question is, and I saw somebody talk about this on Telegram, and they seemed to say that this gain of function actually could be considered a crime against humanity, to engineer something that is intended to be deadly. And that since this looks to be released intentionally, or maybe accidentally, depending on who you listen to, but since that gain of function research was funded, that those who supported it, those who funded it, those who were behind it, could stand trial in a military tribunal for crimes against humanity and possibly treason. So I'm curious if that is the scenario that we're looking at. Will something like that take place? Are we going to see people like Dr. F put before a military tribunal? Is that going to happen? Are others that have been involved in this going to be brought to a greater level of justice? So I want to take a look at the cards and take a look at this question. So I'm going to shuffle up and I'll be right back and we'll take a look at this. Okay, so I shuffled up the cards. My first question out is, will anyone involved with gain-of-function research and the coronavirus be facing a military tribunal? Now the card on this, kind of interesting. I've got this card here. Whoops. Okay, there we go. This is the Fool card. I'm using my Gilded Tarot Royale deck. Now the Fool card, as you see, this jester here is traipsing along, and if you notice his foot, he's about to trip over that wire. That's the essential meaning of this card. It's like you're carefree, going along, not realizing you're about to embark on something. You're about to fall into a pit, off a cliff. And it's kind of like that kind of attitude. It's like not really thinking that far ahead. You're just kind of in the moment. And to have that card, like you're about to fall, I wonder if there could be something to that. Those rumors that I heard. The next question I wrote is, will Dr. F face charges in a military tribunal? Now, interesting card on this. I've got the Four of Pentacles. Now, this is a card of holding on to what's yours, trying to protect your reputation, your things, your stuff. Kind of an interesting card on that. I had to sit for a moment and think about that. And what I heard as I was focusing in on that was the term stripped of title. That's all I heard. And I'm not sure exactly what that means, but that's what I heard with it. And so there may be some type of something to do with being stripped of a title of some kind with it. The third question, will gain of function research eventually be banned or forbidden? Now, interesting on this, I've got the 10 of Wands. This is a card of carrying a burden or a load. And what I find interesting with that is it feels very difficult moving forward. So whether it is this gain of function research is banned completely, or there's going to be a lot more attention paid to it, a lot more scrutiny, a lot more oversight perhaps, it's going to be difficult moving forward. I think there's going to be more eyes on the process, maybe, and how it's done, how it's conducted, and maybe a lot more scrutiny, a lot more protocols to follow, I'm thinking. It may not be banned completely, but I think that research will be curtailed somewhat. Okay. Now, what do we need to know about this? And we've got a messenger on it. I've got the Page of Wands. And when we have a page, it's a messenger, and wands are about creative endeavors. I'm tempted to think that what we need to know is that there is more of this going on, and that it's being done probably more places, maybe under our noses, but it's not just an isolated incident, that this is something that is more widespread. That's what I get with that wands there. So what is the, let's see, that was what we need to know. And what is the hidden aspect of this? I've got the Queen of Swords on that. Now, this queen is mentally sharp, and she can see through things that other people can't see. And I'm wondering if this is talking about eyes on this whole process, that there have been eyes on it. There have been people maybe in various positions that know what's going on behind the scenes. I do think that there have been maybe some good guys, also some bad mixed in, but it feels like there are people that have recorded or seen or are bringing this to light or bringing it out in the open. So what I think the hidden aspect is that it's being surveilled. There are eyes on it. Okay. Now the next few questions were kind of interesting. I wasn't sure I wanted to include them on this video, but I think I will, because the cards are really fascinating. So this question's kind of long. I put, what will be the outcome for those who are responsible for creating the C virus and leaking it to the world? Now, this card coming out on that, this is a card of being hemmed in, restriction, imprisonment. This is a card of bondage and being constricted, restricted. So makes me wonder if there will be some accountability eventually for what happened with this research that looks like it got out of hand. And the last question is, will the connection between gain of function and an attempt to steal a 3 November be made? Will the connection be made? And this is a really strong yes card. The Ace of Swords, a card of victory, a card of overcoming, a card of strength, fortitude. And to have that on that question, is there going to be a connection? Yes, I do think so. And my question wasn't just like, are people going to connect the dots, but is it actually going to be put out there that this was A was done to affect B? Okay, and that's what I get a yes on. So that's pretty fascinating, I think, that these answers came out that way. I wasn't quite sure what I would get, wasn't quite sure what to expect. So, but anyway, it looks like there may be some truth to the military tribunal, but if not that, there will be some accountability and possible jail time nonetheless. So, how that plays out, not sure exactly, but I do think there is going to be something that will take place that will hold people accountable for what took place. And those connections and those dots are going to be made. So we'll see how this all comes together, but that's what I get from the cards. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.